Hey there, boys and gorillas. It's me, your host, Pink Jimi Photon, with yet another episode of Stupid Battle Tricks. Today's installment is a weird little device. This is going to be just a real quick little demo. An anonymous forum bite, wink wink, on do-it-yourself stompbox that sent me a PCB for this. This was in a electronic do-it-yourself magazine called EMM, and it was called the String Damper. And basically, it's kind of like a attack decay unit for guitars, keyboards, whatever. You can adjust it from about 5 milliseconds of attack to a second of attack, which is a good large time. And I've modified the unit, which hasn't been labeled or anything yet, because frankly, I just haven't got around to it. You've got attack and decay, so you can get like convincing bowed sounds out of it, or even make it sound backwards. I modified it so that it has available twice as much attack time. So if you there's a little foot switch on the front here, where if you click it down, it changes it from a 2.2 microfarad capacitor to a 4.7 microfarad capacitor. It gives you about 2 seconds of attack time, which sometimes can be useful. But anyways, it's a neat little gizmo. I mean, I found what I believe is a problem on the original schematic. I know a lot of guys built these over the years, and nobody ever seemed to get it to work right. Resistor 13 on the schematic is listed as 4.7K, and resistor 15 is listed as 10K. This thing was nowhere even close to unity gain. It sounded cool, but it was like when you kicked it in, it was like turning your guitar halfway down. I talked to Mr. PRR on Do It Yourself Stomp Boxes. He said try doubling those. I did. Didn't really. It made a little difference, not much. And then I thought, maybe on the original schematic they had screwed up and put them off by a factor of 10. I kept going up in resistances on both resistors, and it would get louder, but not loud enough. So I finally said screw it, and I tried a 47K resistor for R13 and a 100K resistor for R15, and bingo, unity gain was achieved. So I think they screwed up, and for all the people that have built this thing over the years, it's called the EMM String Damper. You might want to revisit it and change, swap out them two resistors. You might find it's a whole lot more useful. Anyways, I'm going to get to the pedal itself. Got a silicone germanium fuzz face variant here. This was one of the first pedals I ever built. That's why it's in the Hammond style box instead of the more usually cheesy ass Radio Shack box. As you can see, volume's about it's upside down. It's plugged in, and I'm lazy. Volume's about 3/4 of the way, and distortion's pegged. Okay. Okay, I'll turn it off. So it's about unity gain. Now I'm going to kick on the string damper halfway up. It's kind of subtle, but you hear what it does? It's kind of like a slow attack. It's kind of like using your volume knob on your guitar. But it does it automatically. Now you might be saying, big deal. I'm going to turn it all the way up for a sec so you can hear it all the way up. It's effectively out of the circuit pretty much at that point. Turn it all the way down. All you get is blips. Well, actually maybe I had it backwards. Wouldn't surprise me. We're talking me here. And it turned the attack control all the way up. Doesn't seem to really do a whole lot. Maybe that's the decay control. I'm going to have to look at the circuit board over here and make sure I didn't put them in backwards. We're going to turn the attack up, the decay all the way up. It's weird. It's happiest right around probably about 11 o'clock. Now you might go, well, big deal. Slow gear's been out by Boss for like a million years. There's a bunch of other things that do the same thing. Well, yes and no. A slow gear is set up where it will go and swell in on every note. You gotta kind of... This one's a little different because of the way it works. This more like kind of swells in the beginning of each phrase. So if you get it set up right with the right toys, and I'm not plugging any other crap in because I'm too damn lazy right now, but you can get like a relatively convincing kind of backwards sweet spots you gotta find. And as you play with it, you'll find different spots. Controls are real interactive. You kind of gotta like mess around and find like the sweet spots for like each particular guitar you're on, which effects you're on, blah blah blah. Kind of a lot of hoops to jump through. It's a neat effect though. I'm going to change it to the longer attack setting now. Maybe that's decay. I don't know. Oops. A lot of it really comes down to pick attack. more you play with it, the cooler it gets. There's a lot of like different nuances in it and things. You can find the schematic on Mark Hammer's website. I believe it's hammer.amppage.com. I'm probably spacing it out because I'm good at spacing things out. But anyways, if you decide you want to build one, try them mods that I recommended. And remember, you gotta wait for the capacitor to discharge to get the effect to happen. It's kind of weird. It's instead of being like swelling into every note, it kind of more like swells in and out of phrases. On chords too, but not quite the same. Well, anyways, stupid pedal trick. Once again, I think it's like 46, 47. Jesus, there's been so many of them now. Anyways, this is the EMM string damper. Thanks to the anonymous forum who sent me the PCB for it. And if you look it up, you'll find it on, again, hammer.amppages.org. Or do a search on do-it-yourself, stompboxes.com. If I remember, I'll put links to the thing into this after I upload. Anyways, Jimi Photon, Stratocaster variant piece of shit thing. Cool ass pedal with the orange LED for a change. Ooh, orange. A little fuzz. This was another episode of Stupid Pedal Tricks, EMM string damper. As always, thanks again for watching. Work for peace. Catch you next time. Later, Bill and Ted.